Tuesday morning, bright and early. We left the hotel at 6, and here we sit in the rail yard in Kamloops. Smaller group waving us goodbye in Kamloops. This morning we started in Kamloops, headed up this way. And kept going, turned east. Went through the spiral tunnels. Stopped at Lake Louise and ended up in Banff. Nice backyards, large lots, some raised vegetable beds. You see lots of trucks, and there's more cars. We just see cars parked everywhere. Some of them are wrecks. Some of them look functioning. It's a nice park. It even has a little skateboard ramp. More cars don't look like they're functioning. There's a thriving metropolis of Kamloops up here on the hill. Got a beach over there. Signs indicate that Kamloops is Canada's tournament center. I don't know what kind of tournaments. New, more people waving at us. Evidently there's about 100,000 people around here, and it's a big regional medical center, and mining and forestry are major occupations. Other industries are tourism, ranching, making paper products. Lots of aspen trees down here along the train track, and then up in the mountain appears to be mostly fir. Some snow up there. I thought we'd see more. And there's the biggest mountain we've seen so far. This is the town of Salmon Farm at the end of this lake. Evidently it's quite the summer vacation destination. Lots of summer resort cabins over on the far side. Several years, Doris Lund's dog warns her that a Rocky Mountaineer train is approaching, and she goes out on her porch and waves to greet us as we pass by. We went through 26 tunnels from Vancouver to Kamloops, and from Kamloops to Banff we'll go through 22 more. Most of them are pretty short. This is the town of Sycamoose, and there's some big houseboats. Sycamore, it's a Native American word for space between two lakes. This site is where the last spike of the Canadian Pacific Railroad was driven into the train tracks on November 7th, 1885. Monument right there.
Alright, so this is that stone cairn right there. That's the original last piece of track. And there's an old caboose. This would have been what was at the end of a train in the 1880s. So it's at that time period.
Here, you'll notice that we put on a third locomotive today. So we're 17 pieces of equipment long, and the third locomotive is to help pull our train up through the maximum gradient, through the Columbia Mountain Range, and then as we make our way into the Rockies and up.
Yeah. That's okay. I'm gonna follow up on that one now.
Alright, so what I always think
This is the outskirts of Revelstoke. And we're getting into more snow. as we climb. Makes sense. This area gets 30 to 50 feet of snow each winter, and right now a lot of it's melting, and the rivers will be flowing higher as it makes its way down. This is what I was hoping to see, is snow and rivers and mountains covered with snow. 2 o'clock and we're about to get our lunch, and this young man in here is vacuuming the floor in between the 2 lunch services. Slowed the train down so we can get prepared to go across this great big tall bridge.
August, it is completely gushing with water there after the snow melts. And if you're not too afraid, you can look down.
We're inside the dining room because we were just outside. We were right next to the dining room. So we came right on in, and there's lunch is getting ready. We are in the mountains now, the Rocky Mountains. Looks like glacier water in Alaska, that light blue color. Water is very shallow and very clear, rocky on the bottom. And look at all the rocks. The height of snow melt, this is all underwater.
Yeah.
Two of them.
Oh, yeah.
Evidently these are falls, but they're frozen falls. Pretty cool. Canadian Rocky Parks are a protected UNESCO heritage site. The town of Field. Oh wow, look at all the trash cans that are bear safe. In 20 minutes we're going to gain 1,500 feet in elevation. So the Burgess Shale is one of the most significant fossil areas in the world. Exquisitely preserved fossils record a diverse, abundant marine community dominated by soft-bodied organisms. Originating about 540 million years ago, the Burgess Shale fossils provide key evidence for the history and evolution of most animal groups known today.
Paleontology that eventually became a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And so that's just beyond this mountain here, so it's Burgess Shale. And so to this day there's still a site there where there's some tourists at certain times where you can still see some of those fossils for yourself. It's very distinct looking on the right. So yeah, that actually is on top of the mountain that we go through second. So we
got the sun on the mountaintops.
And all west flowing water will flow down to the Pacific, and all east flowing water will flow down to the Hudson's Bay eventually.
There's a continental
So
divide.
just on the right there, you see a beautiful cathedral once more. Alright, so we're into the second tunnel, and you'll notice that it's switched back just once more. Track and the tunnel is just a little cutout. You'll see a little bit of that cement and the entrance part of it. So wait for it, just past here. Let's look through the trees in a moment. Slowly but surely it'll open up, look down. Down, you already see the track going one way. Below, you see the tunnel. So look at the track up top and look directly below it. That's where
Heritage rail cars.
And you can actually still
Go inside, check it out. They have the original tables and everything in there.
The point of this trip at the Continental Divide was about 5,100 feet. Not monumentally high by any means. Evidently, some of the people who've been on this train are getting off here. Well, that stop was the Lake Louise station, and we had about 70 people get off. I guess they're going straight to Lake Louise. We're going to go to Banff for 3 days and then 2 days at Lake Louise. So the water on this side of the Continental Divide is flowing east. I'm thinking it goes to the Gulf of Mexico. And on the other side, the water flows to the Pacific. Oh, there's a nice shot of our train.